Good evening. Today we are going to discuss about a special feature of labor market, and that feature is incidence of labor exploitation. And it is seen that labor is exploited in terms of often it is seen that labor is exploited on the ground that laborer is deprived of his wage rate that he should get, and this deprivation comes from the speciality of market structure. Actually, market imperfection is mainly liable for incidence or occurrence of labor exploitation. And if we want to look into the labor market, then we can see that there are actually two markets in operational, and these two markets are labor market and product market. And actually demand for labor is generated due to the demand for product. That is why market imperfection of product market actually affected labor demand in labor market also. And there may have different situations, and this discussion is actually theoretical discussion. And let us see what are the different situations that may take place. For example, there may have monopsony in the labor market and perfect competition in the product market. Similarly, there may have perfect competition in the labor market and imperfect competition such as monopoly in the product market. And there may have monopsony in the labor market and monopoly in the product market. If these situations, we observe these situations are there, then it is seen that labor is exploited, and the actual wage rate is less than what he should get. Now let us first discuss the situation of monopsony in the labor market and perfect competition in the product market. Now in case of monopsony, there is a single buyer of labor power. That means farm owner is generating demand for labor power, and all the laborers are the supplier of labor power. And this, since in this market structure there is only one buyer of labor force, that is why it is also known as buyer's monopoly. And in case of buyer's monopoly, producer or farm owner generally bid up wage rate to attract new laborers, and as wage rate is bidded up, that is why average cost of employing labor also increases as more and more labor is employed here, and marginal cost of employing labor also increases. Now it is seen that marginal cost of employing labor increases more than average cost of increase in labor, and this can be shown by using a suitable numerical illustration. Let us see the diagram, let us see the table, and I think the table will help to understand how marginal cost of labor increases more than average cost of labor. From the table we can see that labor is employed by 1, 2, 3, 4 in this way, and to attract new laborer, the farm owner is increasing its or farm owner is offering higher and higher wage rates. Now initially wage rate was 10, then to attract new labor he increases the wage rate to 20, then 30, then 40 in this way. Now as a result, total cost of employing labor increases, and it is increasing by assuming that when the producer is increasing wage rate, this increased wage rate will be given to both new entrants as well as the existing employees. So in this way total cost of employing labor increases. Now what about the marginal cost of labor? Marginal cost of labor is defined as the difference between total cost of labor, current total cost of labor minus the earlier total cost of labor. We can see that marginal cost of labor is increasing. Now what about average cost of labor? Average cost of labor is simply total cost of labor divided by number of employment. From the table we can see that average cost of labor is increasing from 10, 20, 30, 40 in this way, and marginal cost of labor is also increasing, but it is quite prominent that marginal cost of labor is increasing more than average cost of labor. So if marginal cost of labor increases more than average cost of labor and both are increasing, that means we can think of two functions. These two functions are actually increasing function, and if we want to draw any diagram, then average cost of labor curve should be a positively sloped curve, and marginal cost of labor curve should also be a positively sloped curve. And since marginal cost of labor is increasing faster than average cost of labor, so marginal cost of labor curve should lie above the average cost of labor. And this average cost of labor is nothing but its supply curve, because according to the average cost of labor, the laborer are paid their wage rates. So wage rates are increasing, as a result labor employment is increasing. So we are getting a one-to-one correspondence between wage rate and supply of labor. So average cost of labor may be considered as a supply curve of labor. So both the ACL curve and MCL curve are positively sloped, and MCL lies above the ACL curve. Now let us discuss the first situation where we have assumed that there is monopsony in the labor market and perfect competition in the product market. Already we have discussed that if there is monopsony in the labor market, then labor supply curve or ACL curve is positively sloped and MCL curve is also positively sloped, and MCL lies above ACL curve. Now if the product market exhibits perfect competition, then MRPL curve would show the demand curve for labor. Now why MRPL curve? Because if there is perfect competition, we know that P is equal to marginal revenue. So value of marginal revenue, value of marginal product and marginal revenue product, both are actually same. So we may consider MRPL curve as the demand for labor curve. Now where the equilibrium will be attained? In this case, equilibrium will be attained at point E, because at this point marginal cost has become equal to marginal revenue. That means marginal revenue earned by employing one additional labor has become equal to the marginal cost of employing additional labor. So E is the equilibrium point, and according to E we can say that employment of labor is determined at OL level. That means OL amount of labor would be employed, and what is the wage rate? Wage rate to be offered or wage rate to be given to the laborer would be equal to W1. But from the diagram it seems that wage rate should be W2, but actually wage rate will be offered up to the OW1. Now why OW1? Because laborers are paid according to their average cost. So average cost from the intersection point of EL with the average cost of labor curve, we are getting a point that is F, and according to F the equilibrium wage rate is determined, and it is OW1. Now laborers should be paid OW2 because their marginal contribution is OW2 or EL in this diagram, but they are given the wage rate equal to the length FL. So laborers are deprived the wage rate that is equal to the area equal to the length EF. So EF is actually EF actually measures the magnitude of labor exploitation for per unit of labor employment, and since this labor exploitation is occurring due to the existence of monopsony, we may say that this is the EF is the magnitude of monopsonistic exploitation. Now let us consider the second situation where we are assuming that there is perfect competition in the labor market and monopoly in the product market. Now if there is perfect competition in the labor market, then what is happen? Wage rate becomes fixed, and wage rate, suppose this fixed wage rate is W1. This wage rate is determined elsewhere since there is perfect competition, and there are it is assumed that there are numerous buyers as well as numerous seller of labor power. So wage rate is determined elsewhere, and each of the firm has to accept that wage rate. So each firm may be considered as wage taker. So since wage rate is constant, we can assume that the average cost of labor or marginal cost of labor becomes a horizontal straight line. For each and every labor employment, each one has to be offered the wage rate, that is OW1, and as a result the average cost of labor curve and marginal cost of labor curve coincides, and both the curves become horizontal straight line. Now what about the equilibrium? In this case, since there is monopoly in the product market, VMPL curve and MRPL curve will differ, because now in case of monopoly we know that price is greater than marginal revenue. Since price is greater than marginal revenue, VMPL should be greater than MRPL. So VMPL curve lies above MRPL curve, and equilibrium is established at point E where MRPL curve has intersected the MCL curve. Now at this point, that is at point E, marginal revenue earned from employing labor has become equal to the marginal cost of employment of labor. So E is the equilibrium point, and accordingly we are getting L amount of labor employment, L amount of equilibrium labor employment. So L amount of labor would be employed, and they will be offered a wage rate that is equal to W1. Now what about the extent of exploitation? In this case, if L amount of labor be employed, these laborers are actually producing these laborers are actually contributing FL amount of output. That means this is defined by the intersection between FE, LE, and by extending that line it actually cuts the VMPL curve at point F. That means at the margin OL amount of labor is contributing FL amount of output. So they should be given wage rate up to the length FL, or in other words they should be given the wage rate equal to the equivalent to OW2, but they are actually given wage rate up to OW1. So W1, W2 is actually labor exploitation that should have been given to the laborers, but they are deprived, and this W1 and W2 may be considered as the monopolistic exploitation, because this exploitation is occurring due to the existence of monopoly in the product market. Let us consider the third situation. This is actually an extreme situation where we are assuming imperfection in both the markets. That means in labor market we have monopsony, and in product market we have monopoly. So since there is monopsony in the labor market, there are two curves, ACL and MCL, and since there is monopoly in the product market, there is two curves, BMPL and MRPL. And equilibrium is established at point E where MRPL has intersected the MCL curve. So equilibrium point is defined, and accordingly we are getting employment as OL amount of employment. So OL amount of labor would be employed, and the equilibrium point is E. Now what about the wage rate, equilibrium wage rate? Wage rate to be offered to the laborers would be equal to OW1, because the curve EL actually intersects the ACL curve at point G, and we know that laborers are paid according to the average cost of labor, not according to the marginal cost of labor. So wage rate to be offered would be OW1. Now if we extend the line EL upwards, then we are getting a point F which cuts the VMPL curve at point F. So in this case we are getting actually two kinds of exploitation. First exploitation comes due to the existence of monopsony in the labor market, and second exploitation comes due to the existence of monopoly in the product market. Now the difference between VMPL curve and MRPL curve give us the monopolistic exploitation. That means W2, W3 is considered as monopolistic exploitation, and the difference between MCL and ACL gives us the monopsonistic exploitation. That means W1, W2 gives us the monopsonistic exploitation. So two kinds of exploitation takes place here, and in this market structure the exploitation is maximum. Unlike other two situations, here exploitation is maximum, and if this situation occurs, then laborers are mostly deprived. Now if we want to think of any situation where such exploitation may be removed, this may be possible if there is perfect competition both in labor market and product market. And if this happens in this way, from the diagram we can see that if there is perfect competition in the labor market, then ACL and MCL curve coincides and it is horizontal, because as there is perfect competition in the labor market, wage rate is fixed, so we are getting one ACL and MCL curve which is horizontal. And since there is perfect competition in the product market, VMPL and MRPL curve coincides and we are getting a downward sloping VMPL curve. So here supply curve of labor is horizontal straight line and demand curve for labor is downward sloping, and equilibrium is attained at the point of intersection between the two, and we are getting OL star of employment. So in this case we can see that there is no exploitation. Laborer is fully paid. That means whatever at the margin, whatever the labor is producing, he is getting that amount as wage rate. So this is a situation, ideal situation actually, and we may say that in reality this is quite difficult to experience, because in product market we may have perfect competition, but in labor market it is quite difficult to have perfect competition, because to have perfect competition in labor market we must have numerous buyers of labor power. So there must have numerous firms who are going to buy labor power. So this is quite unrealistic, though theoretically it is possible that if there is perfect competition in both the markets, then there is complete removal of labor exploitation. Sometimes it is thought that existence of labor union may solve the situation. That means existence of labor union may reduce or may remove the incidence of labor exploitation. Let us see how this can be happened. Initially we have drawn three curves. One was ACL, the other one is MCL, and another one is MRPL curve. And from this diagram we have drawn ACL and MCL, assuming there is monopsony in the labor market, and this downward sloping curve single MRPL curve is drawn, assuming that there is perfect competition in the product market. So already we have seen that if this situation exists, then there is some sort of labor exploitation, and this exploitation is known as monopsonistic exploitation, and this exploitation can be measured by the length of EG. EG is the magnitude of labor exploitation under that situation. But now suppose one labor union enters into the situation and intervene into the situation, and labor union proposes the farm owner that wage rate has to be increased to certain minimum level, and if wage rate be not increased, then nobody will going to work. So their proposal is to increase wage rate to W2 level. Now if the farm owner is agreed with their proposal, then W2 becomes wage rate and this wage rate become fixed. Now if the wage rate becomes OW2, then the upward rising ACL or MCL curve does not exist or cease to exist, and the ACL and MCL curve becomes horizontal straight line, because wage rate has been fixed by the labor union and it has been agreed by the farm owner. So the new average cost of labor curve or marginal cost of labor curve becomes horizontal straight line defined by the OW2 wage rate. So equilibrium is attained at the point of intersection between MRPL curve and MCL curve at point F. So the new equilibrium point is F. If the new equilibrium point is F, then what is happening? We can see that the employment of labor increases from L1 to L2. That means if the labor union acts, then what is happening? The employment of labor is increasing. At the same time, wage rate is also increasing. So labor union can raise both the wage rate as well as the employment level. So from the discussion, we have seen that labor is exploited in the labor market, and the exploitation of labor takes place due to the existence of market imperfection. The market imperfection in terms of existence of monopsony or existence of monopoly. But if there is any labor union, then labor union can help to ease the situation, or labor union can help to raise both the wage rate as well as employment of labor. So that's all from today's discussion. Thank you all.